maximum alert burgundy and gold. Your franchise is being completely transformed right before your eyes. Management has not only discovered the next defensive phenom to replace the veteran who dared to speak out, but they are also about to add another deadly weapon to the already devastating offensive arsenal. This is the crucial moment that will determine whether the Commanders will dominate for a decade or fall back into the abyss of mediocrity. No one else is covering these stories like we are. Subscribe now to get LLD tales that other media are deliberately hiding. The future of your team depends on it. The departure of our veteran defensive tackle has left a huge void in the defensive line, but some think this could be a blessing in disguise. A team insider just pointed to our second-year lineman as the next big defensive revelation for the Commanders in 2020-5. Ben Standing of The Athletic is betting big on this guy from Illinois, who was selected in the second round of the 2024 draft. And I tell you this, if we look closely, the flashes were already there. Last season, despite missing almost the entire preseason program due to surgeries on both feet, he managed to stand out in 16 games, starting in 11 of them. This man showed he has everything it takes to become a cornerstone of our defense. Will this young tackle finally fill the void left by Allen? I believe we are looking at a genuine talent that fell into our lap at the 36th position of the draft when many projected him among the top 15. Can you imagine what that means? A first-round talent we got in the second. His explosiveness and ability to shed blockers are exactly what we need to complement Payne and Kinlaw. Now, not everything was perfect in his rookie season. He had consistency issues against the run, something he urgently needs to improve if he wants to make that leap in quality we all expect. But I tell you, his ability to pressure the quarterback from the interior and his pursuit speed are factors that can't be taught. This guy has the natural instinct to make disruptive plays at key moments. Now, I ask you, don't you think Adam Peters knew exactly what he was doing when he selected Newton, despite not having an urgent need at that position? This move could become one of the great successes of his management if the young tackle manages to polish his run defense and learns to counterattack when he loses. Initial leverage thought the arrival of Javon Kinlaw is also an important factor in this equation. Peters has bet on giving a new air to this defensive line, bringing in a player whose career hasn't gone as planned, but who could flourish in this new environment. I believe that the combination of youth, talent, and a new culture could be the perfect formula to create one of the most dominant defensive lines in the NFC East. Let's move on to another shocking piece of news. Our former defensive tackle didn't hold back when talking about his departure from the Commanders. During an appearance on The Rich Eisen Show, the two-time Pro Bowler was brutally honest about how the new regime simply didn't include him in their plans. And let me tell you something here. This shows a radical shift in the way business is done in Washington. The veteran praised the management for the class and respect with which they handled his exit, releasing him just before the legal negotiating window to give him an edge in finding his next destination. When have we seen this level of professionalism in our franchise before? In the NFL, it's very hard to play your entire career with one team. The new regime came in, they had a path they wanted to follow. And I wasn't part of it, confessed the now member of the Vikings. And he added something crucial. You have to give them a lot of credit for doing me the favor of releasing me when they did. These words speak volumes about the respect with which he was treated. Do you remember how these situations were handled with the previous administration? I think this kind of professionalism is refreshing and says a lot about the new culture that Adam Peters and Dan Quinn are building. Allen didn't take long to sign a 3-year, $51 million contract with the Vikings, including $31.25 million guaranteed, an excellent payday considering his performance over the last 2 years. Now, I ask you, wouldn't you prefer to have this new professional administration that respects players instead of the constant dramas of the past? Because I tell you, this team is finally behaving like an elite organization. And this is crucial for attracting and retaining talent. Players talk to each other, and when they see how an organization treats even those who are no longer part of their plans. They take note. Allen gave a lot to our franchise. He fought through years of misery and underperformance. Frustrations were about to boil over during Ron Rivera's last season, but the respected veteran found new enthusiasm when head coach Dan Quinn inspired a sensational cultural change throughout the organization that ensured Allen finally had some happy memories of his time in Washington, even if it wasn't enough to fulfill his contract. And to complete our trio of explosive news, the Commanders could be looking for more offensive firepower for Jaden Daniels in the upcoming draft. According to Charles Davis' latest mock draft for NFL.com, Washington would select Ohio State receiver Emeka Egbuka. Think about it. A receiving corps with Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, and now potentially Egbuka. Is there any secondary in the NFL prepared to face that level of talent? I think Adam Peters is building an offensive arsenal that will make Jaden Daniels shine even more in his second season. Davis explains it perfectly. The receiver room is undergoing a complete makeover in DC. It started with the trade for Deebo Samuel, and Egbuka will quickly show he's someone QB Jaden Daniels can trust. And I tell you, this is exactly what our young quarterback needs to continue developing. Egbuka appeared in 49 games over 4 years with the Buckeyes, amassing nearly 3,000 yards and 24 touchdowns. He would probably play primarily from the slot with the Commanders, completing a receiving group that already includes Brown and McCaffrey. His college production speaks for itself, and his ability to create separation on intermediate routes would be the perfect complement to McLaurin's deep threat and Samuel's versatility. Now I ask you, with an offense that was already fifth in scoring last season, should we keep investing in offense, or is it time to strengthen our defense? Because while our offense seems increasingly lethal, the defense hasn't received big-name additions this offseason. I think Peters is following the model we saw in San Francisco, building an explosive offense with multiple weapons that can create big plays at any moment. With McLaurin, Samuel, and potentially Egbuka, along with a solid running game, the Commanders could have one of the most balanced and dangerous offenses in the entire league. It's important to remember that Egbuka wouldn't just be another option on the field. This receiver has the potential to become one of the best slot receivers in the league, with reliable hands, excellent routes, and the ability to generate yards after the catch. Imagine Jaden Daniels with all these options at his disposal. Our quarterback's second year could be something truly special. The offense led by Daniels already showed flashes of greatness last year, finishing among the top 5 in the league in points scored. With the addition of Samuel through trade, the possible arrival of Egbuka, and the continued development of Luke McCaffrey in his second year, we're talking about explosive potential that would make any defensive coordinator in the league tremble. And let's not forget the offensive line. The acquisition of Laramie Tunsil from the Texans provides an immediate upgrade in protecting Daniels' blind side, something crucial for his continued development. Peters is building this franchise smartly, piece by piece, with a clear plan in mind to turn the Commanders into contenders for years, not just one season. These 3 news pieces clearly show the direction the Commanders are taking under Adam Peters' administration. We are building for the future while competing in the present. We have a potential breakout star on defense with Newton, a new culture, a professionalism demonstrated in the handling of Jonathan Allen's departure, and the possibility of further strengthening an already fearsome offense. The defensive line is undergoing a significant transformation, with young promises ready to step up and new acquisitions looking to revitalize their careers. The way a respected veteran's exit was handled shows the cultural shift happening within the organization, and the potential offensive additions through the draft could further elevate the potential of an already formidable attack. What do you think? Do you prefer we keep strengthening the offense or focus more on the defense? Leave your comments below and share your thoughts. This is an exciting time to be a Commanders fan, and together we are witnessing this transformation. If you Want to stay up to date with all the Commanders news? Make sure to subscribe to this channel right now. We are family, we are community, and together we will live every moment of the Commanders this season. Like this video if you're excited about Johnny Newton's potential, or if you think Egbuka will be an excellent addition to our receiving corps. And remember, hail to the Redskins!